Welcome back to Ask Rad Rat, where I answer all of your questions about skateboarding. Today I've got two for you. The first one is from Circuit Cheese and Oh Ho Lord, who both asked about Suskis and Overcrooks. How are they only backside? And this is kind of an interesting thing because if you ever saw a frontside overcrook, in print in a Thrasher or something, they would always just call it Nosegrind. The idea of frontside overcrook didn't really come around until the Tony Hawk games. And I think the reason why is because tweaking out frontside is not really a tweak. So if you're doing a frontside nose grind and you're looking forward, your board might just kind of drift frontside slightly. And it's not really like a difficult thing compared to backside. Do a backside nose grind, you tweak the board out this way, but you're still looking forward. You're actually actively doing something on purpose. You're not just kind of drifting into that position. So people can do an overcrook that's like clearly locked in, especially on a rail or something like that. But the backside ones just look like it's actually on purpose and it's a real thing. So on a flat bar or a rail, the only thing you could say is like an ollie over to backside crooks, but that's just kind of longhand for overcrooks anyway. So these days, if you say a frontside overcrooks, people are gonna know what you're talking about, but it's just not really like technically right. But about Suskis, that's a little bit different. So in part, it's the same thing. Tweaking out frontside's a lot easier, especially with a 5.0. You can ollie up and just push your truck down against it forward, and that will kind of make you land at an angle anyway. But also the thing about Suski grinds is named after Aaron Suski, and he only did them backside. So it's kind of weird to use a guy's name about a trick that he never did. So that's kind of another shade of that, but I think for the most part it's just because it's not as difficult and it's not as obviously on purpose. The second question I have for you today is from Josh Spencer, who wants to know about Street League and other competitions. How do they affect modern skateboarding and beginners? Are they damaging? So I want to know, because a few people have said similar things, what is the problem with these sorts of competitions? I know with Street League in particular, there's this idea that the scoring is scientifically accurate or something like that, when obviously it's all opinion, it's all artistic anyway. So maybe giving people the impression that skateboarding can be scientifically judged and this is directly better than that is kind of misleading. But to me, if you are a beginning skater, like back when I started, you had like Tony Hawk games and maybe the X Games you'd see once a year. And that was about all that you would see publicly. And with the X Games in particular, you would watch vert doubles and then park skating. And that's not really giving me an idea of what I would be able to go do. But with Street League, it's sort of semi-legitimate street skating. It's about lines and consistency to a degree. And so I think it gives people a better impression of what skateboarding is actually like compared to what it was like 15 years ago when I started. And also, I don't think there's anything wrong with competition in general anyway. If that's the way you want to handle your skateboarding, if you want to do contests and stuff like that, then that's cool, go for it. So I don't know if Street League is really giving anyone a bad impression or putting anyone off course. There's a million different correct ways to skateboard, and I think that's a perfectly legitimate way too. So I don't know if Street League is doing anything wrong. If you disagree, let me know in the comments. I'm very curious as to why so many people believe that. I would like to see your opinions on that. So that's it for this time. Let me know your questions for the next video in the description. I also have a Twitter and an Instagram where I answer questions as well, so hit me up there as well. Until next time, here's some more videos that I've done recently. I do a lot more than just these question and answer videos. I have well-researched videos on different sorts of topics that you might like to check out. If any of that sounds good to you, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, thank you for watching.